Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a bison. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the head. An easy way to draw a circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's height, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. Draw a bigger circle around the head circle as a guide for the front part of the body. Use the small marks method to draw this circle too. First make a few small marks to indicate the sides of the circle, and then connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Make the body circle about 4 times the size of the head circle. Draw the shape so that the head circle is close to the left edge of the body circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. On the right side, draw a smaller half circle as a guide for the back portion of the body. Pay attention to the size of this shape in relation to the front of the body. Below the head, draw a smaller circle as a guide for the muzzle. Make this circle about 1/3 the size of the head circle. Draw this circle slightly to the right. The muzzle should fit inside the body circle too. Inside the head circle, near the bottom, draw a horizontal line for a construction guide. At the top, draw a curved vertical line for another construction guide. Extend this line down toward the muzzle. Connect the smaller circles using vertical lines to finish the guide for the head. On the sides of the head, draw small curved lines as guides for the ears. Draw the ears small in relation to the head. Above the ears, draw curved lines as guides for the horns. Draw the lines for the horns curving out and then up. Don't make the lines for the horns too long. Under the big circle on the right side, draw a long vertical line as a guide for the front leg. To the left, draw another line as a guide for the other front leg. Bend the line near the middle to indicate a joint. Under the back portion of the body, draw another long line as a guide for the hind leg. Bend the line slightly in the middle to indicate the joints on the leg. To the left, draw an angled line as a guide for the other hind leg. Bend the line near the middle to indicate a joint. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch 2 small circles for the eyes. Place the eyes on top of the horizontal construction guide and close to the outer edges of the head. When you get the sizes and positions of the eyes right, darken the shapes. As you darken each shape, make the sides pointier for the corners of the eyes. The eye on the right should be a bit smaller because the head is slightly turned. Draw a couple of curved lines around the eye on the left for creases. Keep the lines close to the shape of the eye. Draw longer lines higher up to emphasize the shape of the brow. Draw lines for creases around the eye on the right too. Follow the shape of the eye as you draw the lines. Inside each eye, draw a short horizontal line for the pupils. Inside the circle for the muzzle, near the bottom, draw a horizontal line for the mouth. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the line when you get the shape right. Higher up, draw a wavy line for the top edge of the nose. Make the line for the nose shorter than the mouth. Draw curved lines at the bottom for the nostrils. Make the nostril on the left slightly bigger. Add a couple of short lines around the nose for creases. Draw a short horizontal line under the mouth for the lower lip. Draw a couple of curved lines along the bottom edge of the circle for the chin. Add a few short vertical lines too for the base of the fur. Use the long curved line on the top left side of the head as a guide to draw the first horn. Lightly sketch the shape of the horn around the guideline. Make the base of the horn wide and then gradually make the shape thinner toward the tip. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. At the bottom, draw a series of short strokes for the furry base of the horn. Use the curved line on the right side as a guide to draw the other horn the same way. Draw the shape of the horn around the guideline. Add a series of short strokes at the bottom for fur. Darken the curved line on the left side to create the first ear. Use short strokes to create a furry texture. Darken the curved line on the right side to finish the other ear. Now draw the rest of the head using the remaining shapes and lines as guides. Use a broken line to create the left side of the head. Make the left side of the head slightly wider than the initial guides. Darken the guides on the right for the right edge of the head. Between the eyes, draw a couple of vertical lines to emphasize the shape of the muzzle. Draw a few short strokes along the top edge of the initial circle for the top of the head. Higher up, draw a long curved line that's made up of short strokes for the fur that's on top of the head. Don't overlap the horns as you draw these lines. Add more short strokes on the bottom left side for the rest of the head. Below the head, draw a long shape that's made up of short strokes for the beard-like section on the chin. Add a few more short strokes on the right side for more fur on the head. Make the strokes longer at the bottom. Use the second line from the left that's under the body as a guide to draw the front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Make the top of the leg wide for the fur. At the bottom, make the shape of the leg narrow. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Use a series of short strokes as you darken the top part of the leg to create a furry texture. At the bottom of the shape, draw a small rectangular shape for the hoof. Draw a short line inside the shape to split the hoof. Use the line to the left as a guide to draw the other front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. The bottom of the hoof should face to the right because the leg is stepping forward. The top part of the leg will be hidden behind the head. Draw the split hoof at the bottom using a couple of short lines. Use the long line on the far right side as a guide to draw the hind leg. Just like with the front legs, first lightly sketch the shape of the hind leg around the guideline. Make the top of the leg wide and then gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. The hind legs don't have as much fur as the front legs. Make the lines curved to indicate the muscle structure and the joints. At the bottom, draw a small rectangular shape for the hoof. Draw a small line inside the shape to split the hoof in half. Use the line to the left as a guide to draw the other hind leg the same way. Lightly draw the leg around the guide and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Bend the shape a couple of times near the middle to indicate the joints. Draw the top part of the body slightly higher than the initial circle to create the hump. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shapes right. Use a few short strokes to create a furry texture. Darken the outer edges of the guides to create the rest of the body. On the left side of the head, draw a long line that's made up of short strokes for the furry front part of the body. Add longer strokes between the front legs for more fur. Don't overlap the legs that are on this side of the body as you draw the underside. Draw a long broken line across the body to separate the heavy coat at the front. On the right side of the body, draw a curved shape for the hair on the tip of the tail. Make the shape wide at the base and thin and pointy at the tip. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Take your time and be careful when you ink your drawing to avoid any accidents. Don't ink the initial guidelines, only the final drawing. When the ink dries, erase all of the guidelines. Add more ink across the drawing to create shadows and texture on the fur. Use a series of short curved lines to create a fluffy texture on the fur. Pick a light source as you ink so that the shadows are consistent throughout the body. Here the light source is coming from the top, so most of the shadows will be on the undersides of the shapes. Now color your drawing. Use different shades of brown to color the entire body. I'm using markers to color, but you can use colored pencils too. Use dark shades of brown for shadows and light shades of brown for highlights. Make the front section of the body darker than the back. Use light colors at first and gradually add the darker colors later. Slowly and gradually blend the colors together. Add a cast shadow at the bottom using gray and a bit of blue. Make the final lines darker to emphasize the shapes. Coloring can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result, and that's it for the bison. Remember to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. Let me know in the comments what other animals you want to see me draw. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.